All right, all right, all right. Hey, how's everybody doing today? You guys doing good? All right. You guys all happy to be here on a Saturday afternoon? Yes? Yes or yes? Okay. Yeah, I know it's tough being here on a Saturday, but I appreciate you guys coming out. My goal is, again, to talk about cholesterol and other health issues. My name is Dr. Jawad. I have a local practice here in Carroll Stream, and what I want to do just for this half hour or so, it may go over. I just want to educate you about the dangers of cholesterol. The goals are here. What I want to talk about, topics covered. Cholesterol. To create awareness that research finds that cholesterol is actually not the cause of heart disease. Spoiler alert, okay? Most people think that elevated cholesterol is the cause of heart disease. Yes or yes? Okay, nice show of hands. Beautiful. Also, to create awareness to the dangers of statin cholesterol-lowering drugs. Now, again, how many people out there that you know have high cholesterol and or when they go to their primary doc, the first thing they do is put them on a statin drug? Yes or yes? Okay, yes. Let me ask you right now, how many of you guys are on them right now? Okay, I see. All right, about a handful of you guys. Okay, so I also wanted to share some helpful tips that, again, I can't tell you to get off the statin cholesterol medication. That's not my job. My job basically here is to educate you and be more aware of the other options out there. Because believe it or not, here's the cholesterol myth. The cholesterol myth is high cholesterol is the cause of ischemic heart disease. How many people have heard that? Okay, yes. The answer is no. It is not the cause of ischemic heart disease. And why is that? I'll tell you why. Because many studies show that there's no linear relation between cholesterol levels and heart attack or stroke risk. I always say this. This is always my question. Before the cholesterol medications have come out, basically in the mid-90s or so, what was the average cholesterol that people were walking around with? And what happened with them? My question is always, when people talk about high cholesterol levels, how do you know if your cholesterol is high? You don't know if your cholesterol is high or not. There's not a warning sign to say that I have high cholesterol. So how does that tie in with any type of heart disease or stroke? Exactly, it doesn't. There's no correlation between it. So this has been known for decades. So despite the massive use of statin cholesterol drugs over the past 2 decades, the incidence of cardiovascular disease has not changed. Believe it or not, okay, and I'll go into this with a lecture. Because of the use of statin cholesterol medications, the incidences of cardiovascular disease have actually skyrocketed. Now, does that make sense, yes or yes? Okay, the guy in the back says no. Good job. So, basically, what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a steroid. Okay, it's not an anabolic steroid, it's a steroid that we need. It's derived from the Greek term chol, and chol and steroid put together is cholesterol. Now, here's the spoiler alert. 80%, we make cholesterol. 80% of cholesterol is made by the liver. So we produce cholesterol on our own accord. Okay, we need it. 20% is taken in from the diet because 80% of your brain is cholesterol. Okay? And 20% of every cell wall and 100% of your hormones like vitamin D, your sex hormones, again, corticosteroid hormones, mineralocorticosteroid hormones, and also to your sex hormones, those are all derivatives of cholesterol. So basically what that means is that cholesterol makes all those hormones. So again, if you're taking a medication that inhibits that from happening, how do you think you're going to feel? Good or good? All right, bad. The answer is bad. I got that in the back. So what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a waxy fat carried through the bloodstream by lipoproteins. Now, a lipoprotein is basically a protein and a fat. So we need, for anything to be carried through the bloodstream, you need a protein and or a fat together that's called lipoprotein. Yes, question?
When they say bad cholesterol, what is bad cholesterol?
Okay, so young gal in the front. She asked exactly, we hear these terms, good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. She asked, what is bad cholesterol? Now, before I go forth into that, I just want to explain something, okay? There is really no difference between a good cholesterol and bad cholesterol because a lipoprotein, there's actually different types of lipoproteins. The first one I'm going to talk about is your low-density lipoprotein, okay? That takes cholesterol to the liver. Okay, you follow me? So it takes it to the liver where it's made, and it delivers it to the tissue where it's needed. Now again, tissue meaning peripheral tissue. That could be hair, skin, nails, teeth, and so forth and so on. That is needed by the body. It's a precursor for stress hormones. So basically, again, that's a cortisol. Cortisol is good. It's a stress hormone. Again, that in a minute. Now the main thing about cholesterol, the low density lipoproteins, it's used for tissue repair. So anytime you, again, tissue repair, trauma, stress, so forth and so on, when you get any type of inflammation of the interior tissue, cholesterol is needed for repair. So let me ask you, is cholesterol good or good? Okay, it's good. So really we need cholesterol. Thus, low-density lipoproteins has come to be known as the bad cholesterol. Okay, so why is it deemed bad? Why would your low-density lipoproteins be high? Exactly, because high stress levels. Because when we have tissue damage, the low-density lipoproteins, they act as the ambulance to help go to the scene to help repair it, for tissue repair. So now we have a low-density lipoproteins, that's the bad cholesterol. So I want to tell you about the good cholesterol. And that's called the high-density lipoproteins. That's the flip side. So remember, the low-density lipoproteins brings cholesterol made by the liver to the tissues for repair. Now the body is a very smart machine. What it always wants to recycle what it's made. So what the high-density lipoproteins is, it picks up the excess cholesterol and brings it back to the liver. Okay, so it brings it back to the liver to keep it from causing harm. So this is why the high-density lipoprotein is called the good cholesterol. So bottom line is both are carriers carrying the same type of cholesterol, but they have a different job. So again, does that make sense? Yes or yes? Okay. So bottom line, cholesterol is good. We need cholesterol. We need cholesterol for function. We need cholesterol for tissue repair. So if there is damage to the body, there will always be an increase in cholesterol. Now let me ask you a question. The winter time, we're not doing anything. It's cold outside, okay? That's a lot of physical, mental stress. Yes or yes? Yeah, okay. We just came off of Christmas, New Year's. So we had a lot of bad foods. Now, do you think, let me rephrase this. Would you assume that the cholesterol is actually going to be increased in the wintertime? Yes or yes? Yes. Perfect. Because again, if there's damage to the tissue, it will always be elevated. So, cholesterol helps heal the body. So the benefits of cholesterol, remember, the point is we need cholesterol. Cholesterol is our friend. So it helps with tissue repair and healing. Hormone production. Cholesterol is actually the precursor for vitamin D. Okay, vitamin D. There's a lot of benefits of vitamin D. It helps with bone growth. It helps again with mental stability, so forth and so on. There's a lot of benefits of vitamin D. It helps with the nervous system. Remember, your brain is 80% cholesterol, and we need it for function and memory. So it also helps with cell membranes, keeps the bad stuff out, the good stuff in. It helps with mood regulation. Remember, the brain is 80% cholesterol, so it helps with memory and cognition. The immune system. Okay, remember, cortisol is the inflammatory hormone, so again, that's part of your immune system. Anti-cancer and anti-aging effects. Energy, fat metabolism by bile acids. Again, that's all made of cholesterol. So again, cholesterol is it's good for us. Now the bile acids, what that does, when we take in fatty products, it could be anywhere from, again, a Snickers bar to coconut oil, bile produced by the liver, stored in the gallbladder, secreted in the small intestines to help be utilized for fat production. Didn't know that, huh? No. Okay. All right. There are zingers every once in a while, so again, just nod your head. I see the light bulb moment back there. Or if you want to say the Oprah moment. So what causes elevated cholesterol? Stress. Stress is the number one effect besides diet that will cause an increase of cholesterol. Because what happens when you have stress? The heart rate increases, stroke volume increases, the vasoconstriction, the blood pressure increases. Okay, blood glucose and fatty acids increases. Basically, again, one of the functions of the liver is to produce glucose in between meals. So when you're stressed out, your body wants to utilize more energy. So again, glucose production is going to be made by the liver. So what's going to happen is your body breakdown due to increased stress because your body's producing too much. What's going to lower, again, how is it going to affect increased cholesterol? What's going to lower? It's going to lower the healing because remember, when you're stressed out, the last thing your body wants to do is heal. Healing, growth, repair, and your immune system function. Stress, elevated stress, does two things. One, shrinks the brain, and two, increased stress, too much cortisol, will basically bombard your immune system with too much, so it's actually your immune system is getting lowered. Okay, does that make sense? So this is why, if you ever notice, if you're in a high-stress situation, you get really, really tired and or you get sick. Okay? Decreased factual learning and memory. It's hard to learn, I always say this, it's hard to learn history when you're getting chased by the tiger. Okay? So that's, again, stress. Chronic stress response. Chronic stressors. Okay? We eat, we move, or think in ways that are genetically congruent. So in today's world, everybody, again, we're locked in today's world. What does today's world consist of? Poor food choices, okay, for one. And what happens when you have poor food choices? Lack of movement. Think about this. You're at your desk, okay? You're at your desk all day long. You're not moving. There's three types of stressors: physical, emotional, and chemical. By sitting at your desk all day long, would that not equate to physical stress? Okay, I still see a blank eye. Okay, I'm going to get through. Okay, so here's the thing that we can all relate to. Do you ever notice that when you're sitting at your desk all day long, by the time you get up, it takes a while to get up after in a seated position? Yes or yes? Okay, yes. Now you understand, right? Okay. You kind of like walk like an old person before you get up. That's called physical stress. So it also, too, no exercise. Now, the benefits of exercise, when we exercise, we release a chemical in our body, in the arteries, that's called nitric oxide. Now, the benefit of nitric oxide, what that does, that dilates our blood vessels. Okay? It increases arterial flow through the system. So when you're not exercising, what's going on is you're taking that, again, the artery, which is 3 layers deep, okay, 3 layers thick, you're making that shrink kind of like a small pipe. Okay? So when you have a small pipe, is fluid going to get through there faster or slower? Exactly. So poor food choices. Sugar. Now again, it's the sugar, what happens that inside the tubes, that causes, there's 3 layers, the innermost layer, that's called the endothelium. Okay? What sugar does, that nicks the inner endothelial layer, and that causes arterial damage. So that's why sugar is bad for you, yes or yes? Okay, so here, you have poor food choices. You're taking a lot of sugar. You're not moving, so the nitric oxide is not dilating your blood vessels. So if you think that logically, you're taking this pipeline, okay? You're not expanding it. You're taking a bunch of sugar, and you're damaging the inside lining. Does that make sense now? Okay, good. So chronic stress equates to blood vessel damage. So what happens when we, again, so I like this slide because this makes a lot more sense. So what happens in the arterial system? Arterial damage mechanism. So the normal arterial system, you can see here, everything flows naturally. Okay? So when we have the endothelium, which is a tear in the lining of the artery of the endothelium, the innermost layer, what happens? Cholesterol, again, the brain signals to the liver for the cholesterol, because again, what's cholesterol? It's involved with tissue repair. So what it does, again, fat and cholesterol accumulation, what it does, it starts to repair the endothelial lining on the inside. So then the endothelium will grow over the wound, because what it wants to do, it wants to act as a protective coating. So no plaque in the artery. So again, there's no plaque buildup in the arteries. There's no plaque in the arteries. So cholesterol basically does not clog the arteries. People, again, if you ever want to do this, when your doctor says cholesterol clogs the arteries, I just ask him or her, show me proof. Explain the mechanism. Okay? I always say this, if you ever want to really challenge your primary doc or whoever you're going to, ask them why. Ask them how the mechanism is, okay? If you really want to confuse them and challenge them, say, hey doc, please explain to me the mechanism of how this drug works, and if plaque actually does clog the arteries, explain to me how that happens. I guarantee you. Actually, I'll pay for your office visit if he gives you explanation, okay? I hold you to that. I guarantee you he will not even know. Remember, cholesterol does not clog the arteries. So what happens, plaque, the cholesterol buildup, it forms a plug. It forms a plug underneath the endothelial lining. Does that make sense now or now? Okay, good. So, cholesterol myth number 1. Again, we all know the media. This is what they're feeding you guys. Cholesterol myth number 1. I got a bunch of them. High fat foods cause heart disease. No. High cholesterol causes heart disease. No. High fat foods raise blood cholesterol. No. Cholesterol blocks the arteries. I just explained it. Animal studies prove diet heart idea that diet affects heart disease. And lowering cholesterol will lengthen your life. All myths. Okay? I'm just going to keep on going. Myth number 2. Okay. Polyunsaturated oils are good for you. Corn oil, soybean oil, safflower oil. No. Cholesterol campaign to have people reduce their cholesterol levels based on good evidence. No, it's false. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Again, don't shoot the messenger. All science support the diet heart idea. Myth. No. All the above statements are not true. Blocked by solid scientific evidence. Why don't you know it? Cholesterol facts. Cholesterol is a substance vital to all cells. We need it. Many studies have shown that people with low cholesterol are just as arteriosclerotic as people with high cholesterol. Remember, cholesterol does not clog the arteries. When you eat little cholesterol, your body produces more. And when you eat more cholesterol, your body produces less. Remember, we make cholesterol in the liver. It's a negative feedback loop. When you need more, the body produces more. When you need less, the body produces less. The human body is a phenomenal machine. Phenomenal machine, I'm telling you. Cholesterol facts too. Again, there's no evidence that too much animal fat and cholesterol in the diet promotes arteriosclerosis, and or heart attacks. But what does? Right here, stress and diet. That's what causes arteriosclerosis and heart attacks. Stress and diet. Because many of these facts have been presented in scientific journals and books for decades, but rarely told to the public. So again, here's a question that again, don't answer. This is just a rhetorical question. If there's scientific evidence out there that's proven that cholesterol is good for us, then why are they going to prescribe a medication that lowers it? Not only lowers it, but hinders the production of it. When stress and diet and lack of exercise too, that causes arterial damage. So I got a bunch of them. Cholesterol facts number 3. The reason why layman doctors and most scientists have been misled is because opposing and disagreeing results are systematically ignored or misquoted in the scientific press. There are benefits of having high cholesterol. One of the questions I always ask anybody with high cholesterol is, how do you feel? I have a patient of mine who has his cholesterol in the 300s. Okay? How does he feel? He feels fine. And actually, he felt worse when he was on the statin medication, okay, that he took himself off of it. He's a smart guy. Than when he was on it. Okay? So does that make sense? He had cholesterol in the 300s. He's fine. His other blood work, normal. Actually, I should say, nothing's normal. Everything is within normal limits. So, facts. Drug companies that state their statin drugs lower the risk by 36%. Fact, this is a manipulation. The truth is, it falls to just 1%. In fact, taking vitamin C and E will reduce the risk by a much greater percentage. Also too, diet and exercise. Most of the people who are on medications like this have two key things in mind, two key things in similarity, okay? This is from my practice. I've been a doctor for 13 years. I've been out there. Lack of exercise and poor diet. So 50% of the people who die from heart attacks have normal cholesterol levels.